Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to have all of you here. After meeting with each of you individually, it's really wonderful to bring our entire family together. So welcome to our first AI for Science workshop. Today's session is co-hosted by me and our founder, Kai. Kai is a developer of Cloud Journal, a tool many of us use regularly, as well as the self-improving AI agent he will talk about today. Yeah. Okay, before introducing the tools, I would like to provide a brief overview of the differences between AI for science and AI for industry. For science, science is highly segmented. There are many subfields, and every scholar, they might have their own approaches. While for industry, it's often unified due to industry standard operating procedure called SOP or widely adopted commercial software. And for workflow, in science, there are many different workflows for different subjects, different approaches, different topics, and each of them is not very repetitive. While for industry, we have fewer workflow, and each of them is often highly repetitive. For duration, it is not rare we do some project, let's say 5 to 10 months. So very naturally, it's a long horizon. While for industry, okay, let's get the job done today or at most this week because of the business need. Okay, and for the AI model capabilities, at this moment, not very well for science, especially for frontier research field, because there's no training data, there's no detailed guidance for many of these subjects. While for industry, AI can handle coding, finance pretty well. So don't feel discouraged if you think you are not really using AI enough. That's not your problem. That's a character of AI for science. And actually letting AI to help scientific research is not an easy task. It's a difficult and a complex challenge. But we still choose to do it. We choose it not because it's easy, but because it is hard. Okay. There are typically two phases here. Phase one, the investment. At the beginning, using AI often takes more time than doing the work directly. It's kind of like using AI for using AI. But once we bypass some tuning point, once we enter phase two, the automation payoff. Once we have went through the automation process, we will be amazed by its power. It will put you at the society's frontier, and you will get much better exposure in the job market, especially for our junior folks. To help us pass the turning point, this kind of red turning point, today I will introduce the main AI for science tools and share our first-hand comparisons and practical experience using them. My perspective comes not only from working here, but also from my own background as a scientist and university professor. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm going to introduce the all-in-one tools, actually ecosystem. Yeah, there are two main players, OpenAI, ChatGPT, and Anthropic, Cloud Code. Yeah, the latest model from OpenAI is GPT 5.6, and the latest model from Anthropic is 5.05 and Opus 4.8. I will say, if you do serious research, directly go to the most advanced model. Yeah. For GPT, generally we feel it is more user-friendly, no matter the UI design, the product design, the chat style, and also various plugins. Yeah. On the left side, you can see the screenshot of the many plugins of the ChatGPT ecosystem, and especially the record and the replay feature I'm going to talk about very soon. Okay, For Cloud Code, it is highly specialized in coding, finance, biology, and medicine. It is very sharp for a lot of tasks, but could be too sharp. I'm going to come back to this point later. And for Anthropic, in general, the API can be very, very expensive. But luckily, we provide the raw credit card for our participants. You can simply use the max 5x or the max 20x plan to get the job done free of charge. Okay. And for Anthropic, there's also the Cloud for Science. It shares the same subscription as Cloud Code, so you do not have to pay extra. But at this moment, Cloud for Science is mainly about cloud biology or cloud medicine. Anthropic is still trying to prepare these two better for other fields. That is why the Frontier AI Labs provide us some financial resources, which we can provide further back to our participants for using AI tools better. Okay. The very, very nice feature from Codex I want to recommend today is called Codex Record and Replay plugin. It is a plugin. You can install this in the Codex plugin store. Okay, why it is important? Because we all know that AI agent is pretty good at helping us. But the challenge for many non-computer science scholars is how to create agent skills files efficiently. And a Codex Record and Replay exactly comes in to help. You simply have to record your workflow in your computer, and GPT will understand your workflow, the workflow video, and will automatically translate that into AI agent skill file. I mean, for example, on the right side, I get some email address from my Excel file. I copy that email address to my Gmail and send out some personalized email. And Record and Replay capture my workflow very nicely and name this as Open Gmail Draft from Excel. Once I have this skill file, I can call and use it again and again. Okay, experience in practice. I find it's best to have a short workflow and be very precise. What I mean is, when you record, please be very clear and not add any unnecessary noises or mouse or keyboard movement. No. So just try to let it be as clean as possible. And better not very long, because if your workflow is too long, it is very easy to have some mistake halfway. So it's better to be short and precise, and you will be amazed by its performance. Okay. We also, at Open Refinery, we also have done a lot of internal evaluation and benchmarks among different models. The right side shows the rank of different models corresponding to different metrics of cost. Yeah. Overall, the GPT 5.5 or Opus 4.8 are the top two. This detailed benchmark about recall and precision rate are broadly consistent with our own subjective impressions. What I mean by that? Opus 4.8, it has a strong statistical power, meaning a lower risk of type 2 error in statistics, and often feels very sharp. So the power is very strong, it feels very sharp. However, sometimes it can be too sharp or too aggressive in its conclusions. For GPT 5.5, by comparison, it tends to feel smoother and more balanced among different metrics. Yeah. So because of this, overall, we recommend for coding, finance, biology, and medicine tasks, go ahead to use Cloud Code or Cloud for Science, but for any other fields, just use Codex. And for theoretical proof, a couple of days ago, I talked to a professor who used AI for theoretical proof, and we find that if you do theoretical proof, not only use the latest available models, but also make sure to enable the highest reasoning level, because logic really play a very important role there. Okay, during onboarding before, someone asked me, can I use different languages versus English? My answer is yes, but inefficient. What I mean by that? This table shows how much token you have to spend on average by using different languages on different models. As we can see, the first column is OpenAI, and the second column is for Anthropic. On average, you need to spend, well, I would say 20 to 30% at least more tokens. So whenever possible, just try to English as much as you can. Yeah. Okay. Besides the all-in-one tools, we also have specific text tools. They are often tailored for specific use, but often are not frequently updated or not the latest model, and often requires extra subscriptions. So use it if the specific feature fits your need, and thus very necessary. Okay. In the following, I'm going to introduce some very, very useful little tools for each of our detailed tasks in scientific work. Okay, first of all, literature review. We always have to review the literature before doing any work. Here, I recommend two tools. One is Consensus, one is Google Notebook LLM. Okay, first of all, Consensus. Why it is good? Okay, these are not our product. I recommend this not because of any commercial reason, but just for your best interest. Okay, Consensus. It provides very clear comparisons for each of these fields. You see that for each of these methodology, the main idea from some paper, the strengths from some paper, and the main carries for some paper. They list out everything very clear way in the table. Second, while we do research, we know that it's better to know the latest development, for example, over the past 1 or 2 years. So they provide some literature filter, like only past 2 years or only past 5 years. You can also provide some filter for journal rank, sources, field of study, country, so on and so forth. And the feature I personally like the most is this timeline. If you want to know how this subject evolves over time, this timeline really helps. It lists out all of the main papers over time and provide this hyperlink for each of these papers. I find that sometimes when we look at how this subject evolved over time in history, will help us understand how each of these methodology comes at the origin. And this will also help us predict what is the future direction for this subject. Because of these three features, when I do some research myself, my first choice is always Consensus. To be honest with you, I think Consensus is developed by some scientists instead of by computer science technician. Yeah. Okay, next, Notebook LLM. Okay, Notebook LLM generate multi-format outputs, many different formats, and also provide clean, comparable tables from source literature. One very useful feature I often use is I put everything into the notebook, translate them into audio, so I can listen them when I drive. It's a very efficient way of starting something. And when I walk in my previous location at Orlando before, if I go there to work, the one-way drive is 1 hour and 30 minutes. I really learn a lot during my drive there. So I get my CFA by using this driving time. So Google Notebook really helped me a lot. Okay, so we have done literature review. We have used the Codex Cloud Code to carry out the research. Now it's time to write the paper. I recommend 3 tools: PaperPal, ScienceBase, and Jenny. Why each of these is useful for what purpose? Okay, PaperPal. It supports Word file only. So this is probably the only drawback. But there are so many nice features. I find that once you upload the Word file, the document editing is really like the Tesla autopilot. You can just click accept, 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 and your paper will simply make much better. Okay, but as I mentioned before, the drawback is no PDF and LaTeX support. And ScienceBase support PDF. Okay, I know many of our participants are students. I was a student 20 years ago too. Okay, to be honest, we often need copy something from others' paper, right? Especially we want to copy the LaTeX code instead of the PDF file. There is a super useful feature there. It can translate the PDF file to the source LaTeX code. So you can copy the LaTeX code directly there. It will also provide the LaTeX poster source code for you. So instead of the direct PDF picture like in Codex or Cloud Code, this one can provide you the source LaTeX poster such that you can easily modify it afterwards. Okay, this is the first thing. Nice. Second, if you want to get some table from some paper, you can use ScienceBase to extract data there as MD file. I mean, for example, I just upload some paper there. There's some table. I use this tool to upload the extracted table.md file. The format is kept. There's very nice preserved data there. Okay. It can also help review my writing, and note that it supports PDF file. Okay, so this is ScienceBase. Okay, the third one I recommend is the Jenny AI. Jenny AI is a little bit different from others. Jenny AI is more like a little assistant just sitting by you. What I mean by that? So every time you type something, it immediately provides some feedback how to make it better. So this kind of instant positive feedback loop really let me feel very well. Yeah, so it's kind of like a little assistant beside you. This is the first thing. Second thing is we all would like to get peer review before submission, right? You do not like being attacked by reviewers after submission. So Jenny AI provides a very valuable peer review, I mean, in the red box on the right side, for you before submission. I mean, in the past, I find it can indeed provide a lot of useful feedbacks. So we can address them immediately before any submission. Okay, so next, well, as scholar, we always need money, grant writing. Okay, there is a very useful tool called Instrumental. Instrumental, it is preloaded with a lot of already funded proposal. It means because they are already funded, they are successful, so we can copy a lot of nice information inside. And it also provides a lot of ongoing funding opportunities pulling from many different resources. So in practice, I find Instrumental, this tool, can help you maybe finish around half of your proposal. You only have to do the other half yourself. So it can save a lot of time for you. Okay, this is grant writing. And for scientific AI agent, I have to say that, okay, many websites I mentioned before, in my list before, they provide a lot of AI agents. But I talked to a lot of scientists. Most of them mentioned to me that many of them are simply no use or even not safe to use. What I mean, because most AI agents, they are tailored for specific use with some unknown internal mechanism. Because in the science field, everyone is independent. Everyone has his or her own idea. How I can directly copy paste others' workflow, while in nature, it should be different. So that is why this personalized AI agent is super important. And what could be better is if this AI agent can get smarter and smarter gradually by itself. So there's no need for me to train my AI agent. He's just like my little assistant, follow me every day, and gradually it will become smarter and smarter. So how wonderful that will be. That is how our co-founder Kai, well, he's the author of this self-improving AI agent. He will talk about this too afterwards. Okay. But before that, let's go beyond science a little bit. Let's talk about AI's latest development and its impact on other industries. Okay, on the left side, AI's rapid self-evolution. Okay, the large language model coding ability is already very powerful. For other domains, they are just next, where proprietary data and specialized training is just coming soon. And also self-improving skills and recursive AI. So the AI itself is getting smarter and smarter. Okay, token assumption. From data, we can see the token assumption, it continues to grow rapidly. Well, some people worry about API costs. Well, like Anthropic model is really so expensive. So we develop evaluation and benchmark method. And based on that, there could be some smart router to help you direct different tasks to different models to lower the cost, to lower the overall cost, to get a better token efficiency. And on the hardware side, from NVIDIA GB300 Rubin hardware platform, we can see the inference token output surges dramatically. So it's like what? AI nowadays is like the bullet train, going forward very fast. Okay, the other side. AI also has very intense squeeze on other industries. First, very severe squeeze on big tech's operating cash flow. So our hyperscalers, our big tech nowadays are spending majority of the money they make from their operations on AI capital expenditures. And also because of this, they are changing their capital structures forever. So no more buybacks, but new equity issuance time by time. Okay, this is equity market. Now let's look at the bond market. High pressure on the corporate bond market. You might not believe, but currently around half of new US issued corporate bonds are about data center. Not only that, going forward, they are continuously issuing massive new offerings as well. Okay, so equity, bond, labor market. Let's look at the labor market. Disruption of the labor market. It brings structural shift and flatten of the labor market structure. What I mean, there's no need to have junior and even middle management roles. They are simply disappearing. Okay. So the question we really should ask ourselves is, do you want to get on the bullet train or do you want to be squeezed? Yeah, this is the question we really should ask ourselves. And Open Refinery, we are here to help. Open Refinery, we're a data infrastructure company focused on capturing and refining the high quality data from around the world. And our support actually go beyond financial incentives. We provide a training workshop like this. I mean, this will hold bi-weekly. So I'm going to meet you in 2 weeks. Yeah. Personalized AI agent, network opportunity, research collaborations, and reference letters, especially for our junior folks. Okay. With that, I hope everybody could move beyond the critical turning point, the AI for AI's sake. In practice, we find that many non-computer science researchers, they currently use AI tools very lightly. And the real impact comes from daily workflow integration. Okay, second, once you master this technique, and these are exactly what employers and founders want. They seek talent, combining deep domain expertise with practical AI automation to implement workflow proficiently. So they can combine two positions into one. So they can save 50% labor cost. This is super practical for business. And once you transition from your daily scientific research task, the efficiency gains beyond immediately clear. Okay, let me give you a funny example. This morning, I talked to the department head of some university who is also one of the best friend. He said that he really tried several tools I mentioned before, and he's amazed by the performance. He said, if I want, I can get 3 to 5 papers easily every year. Okay, if he wants. Okay, so in the following, let me hand the microphone over to our founder, Kai, who will discuss some new features of Cloud Journal. And please join me in welcoming Kai.
Yeah, thanks. Richard, I think we're probably on time. I'll probably just spend 5 minutes on this topic to talk about this feature. Hopefully, if you are using the tool, can be useful for you as well. Okay. So I guess if you are using Cloud Code or Codex, right? So sometimes, at least for me, right, because I'm a frequent user of Cloud Code and Codex, where I often have to encounter the issues list here. So every time I have to teach the agent in that session to do certain things, there are certain patterns where, for instance, doing the code review, right? I like the agent to review my implementation or the AI implementation a few more times. And also if there are certain patterns, like even the best kind of the Cloud Code or Codex, right? They make mistakes, right? I like to kind of keep the lessons here. And then anything I learn here. So essentially, you can think about this is a way of I try to distill the important points from my past sessions. So whenever you use the Cloud Code for one time, right, you get session. So this is also why sometimes where I heard that some people keep using the same session all the time because all the lessons embedded into the one session. But it's probably not the most ideal economic way to use your agent. How to do that? You try to kind of, I would say, create this kind of skills out of the your ongoing sessions. So then you achieve this kind of less repetition. And also, by the way, normally one person doesn't need a lot. Like five rules probably good enough for a lot of use cases on a daily basis. Next slide. So yeah, just very quick. So why you just need 5? Because most for better worse, right? This will in these 5 rules you have, right? It's actually cover your kind of a lot of your common patterns in your daily workflow, like avoid repetitions, and if there's some pattern, you can like drive your research very efficiently, right? So this will immediately bring you to this level where you literally kind of encoded your workflow, right, into one prompt. Where the next time if you start working on next idea, then you essentially like you skip a lot of steps there. And also because of the nature of your research, right, you probably always have to work on something new, where this type of self-improving, because the way it works is it actually, I mean, without permission, right? It scans all your sessions, then gives everything up to date. And I also heard that some people like me well, we use both the cloud code and codecs, and to exchange information between these two tools, right? Sometimes get trickier, but luckily that both of these tools, right, they support this idea called a skill. It's essentially just a markdown file. You can use this markdown file across these tools. Essentially that you can put whatever important points into the skills, then you can install this MD file into either codecs or cloud code. So again, Y5, because it's kind of shorter enough, you have your own kind of like as human being, right? We can remember that. Next one. So essentially that this is one feature we already implement into the Cloud Journal as a part of this open source package, where before you probably have to do everything manually. That's on the left. If you actually run this feature, of course, we probably have to also keep improving this self-improving skill extraction. But on the other hand, where you can basically see, like, essentially that the tool will help you to notice what are the patterns you're always recurring, and also what to do, when and why, and also like both agents can use next time, which convert the concept discussed earlier into something concrete. Next one. Yeah, so essentially that is we treat this point where I know some people probably will become nervous when all the traces been scanned, right? But ensure that right now everything keeps local. There's nothing being uploaded into like our server. So since you have the card we give to you, give you the enough, like I say, tokens in your either cloud code or codex subscription, right? So everything being running locally. Although of course this is probably kind of make the skills less accurate, but at least in a way where you stay in control. Like nothing change until you prove it. Every step, if we ever make any change, if we ever want to any data leave your server, well, you have to you will have the notification to approve it. Of course, in parallel, we're also working on a version where there's a much cleaner version where we have a official pipeline, essentially that like without permission, right? We can upload some of sessions to the cloud, run it kind of more carefully, more thoroughly. So a better skill will be produced on like weekly basis and share back with you, and you can use it. So again, it's really you stay in control, and whenever you use our tool, like anything you share with us, you get a very clear notification about what's going on. So with that, I think that's kind of my quick introduction of some of the new features from Cloud Journal here. Thanks. Yep. So this is again, so that the steps, but yeah, we can skip this.
Okay, sure. Kai, do you want to talk about our WeChat and the next step? Oh.
Okay, so I think there's a couple of things why we want to do this. I think one thing will be really we want to empower that the scientific discovery research here, because based on our learning, like Richard Zhong here, we as a company, we're actually trying to really one thing, even though we try to sort of like leverage data to build certain like evaluation benchmark for the frontier models, but one important thing we want to do is that how to help you to use more AI, the best AI, so that accelerate your research. Because I think for certain tasks, or I mean a lot of areas, right, it's happening. So I saw this comments here, right? So essentially that all this kind of human data companies, they already help the frontier models to be able to learn some skills to do research. So the best way to feel it will be have you guys to embrace it, so that you know like how much AI can do, how much AI cannot. But you will see that most, for better or worse, right? Most people we start to talk with, when they use AI a lot, they start to kind of, oh, this is amazing, where probably I can really accelerate my research by using this tool. It's not only coding, it's kind of everything built on top of coding there. So the other thing is that we have a network in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area, where we often chat about the latest AI technology. Not only, I mean, here we are focused on the only two things, like maybe just kind of how to use your AI agent on your laptop better, but there are a lot of things happening here, right? And that's where one thing we want to also share with whoever join our program here, so that to help you at least mentally to keeping I will say on the same page of what's really happening. So because AI happens very quickly on the weekly basis, right? So this week probably there's kind of K3 launch. Maybe next week there's another model launch. It's happening all the time. So that's why kind of Richard wants to have this kind of sessions, like biweekly. So yeah, you get a chance to either kind of learn from this group, or you can contribute back as well, so that there's a kind of vibrant kind of the exchange going on as well. So yeah, kind of, Richard, I think that's kind of quickly what a few points I can think about.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, last slides. There are there are 24 slides, actually half made by AI and half made by humans, and you can see the difference. And please make your own choice. Yeah. And also, Kai, there is a very nice question from Brian. Do you want to answer that in the question and answer section?
Okay, I think they probably are all trying to kind of learn. I mean, in the word, it's kind of learn, like mimic how human does the job, right? But I don't feel that essentially that here thing. So core handshake or the AI labs, right? So they also have their kind of preferences, even though high level things will be similar. Okay, maybe both the GPT and the cloud, they can do maybe like theoretical physics research, right? But it really depends on their preference, their kind of training techniques, and also their eventually kind of what they are looking for. So it will be able to cover the similar topics, but the way kind of it's resolve the problems will be different. I highly encourage you to try both the best model from OpenAI and also Anthropic. You will see the difference there. So regarding the product, right, they will be similar, but it will still be different. Like there are always some nuances because again, this word is pretty interesting. Half made by AI, half made by human. So humans still set up the direction. So since the model is training by human, right? So human will make the preference there. So the final, I would say the outcome, the models still be different in different ways, because it's extremely hard to even measure model performance here at a certain point. So they will be different, but could be largely overlapped. So how many researchers total and how engaged? And yeah, I think Richard and Char probably you're most up to this one. Probably we can just share. I think we have a website, but any more information you can share, yeah, feel free to do it here.
Yeah, sure. Currently, we have, I think, okay, as of today, we have 66 participants around the globe. And every weekday, we add around 2 scholars. Yeah. So this is our current metric. Okay, but I also want to add a little bit first-hand experience for Brian's question from my own experience. I actually tried to do that myself around 1 year ago when I was a little bit bored. I find the whole process there is very much frustrated. I have to spend quite a lot of time to do the evaluation process asked by them, and every week I have to spend again quite a lot of time answering. Okay, sometimes I call stupid homework assigned by them, and then they give me some money. Okay, I not only waste my time, I also feel I do not get enough respect for my knowledge. I really feel unhappy. And you can see here, we use a completely different approach. We let you do your own scientific work as usual. Okay, don't waste any time doing the stupid evaluation and the homework assigned to you. No, don't need to do that. Just behave like yourself, do your ordinary work, and only probably spend 3 to 5 minutes every 3 to 5 days or every week to open Cloud Journal and share some useful information with us and also with Frontier AI Labs. And not only financial incentive we provide, we also provide workshop training, scientific network collaboration, I mean, even reference letter. I mean, combining all of this together, you feel that we are actually trying to help our young scholars to advance in their career instead of, let's say, just like paying some little money to ask you to do some stupid homework. No. That's really not our philosophy of doing things. So that's why we choose this approach, and we hope you like it as well. Okay, another question by Howard. Okay. Kai or Char, do you want to answer this question? From Howard.
Oh, I think it's essentially that there's multiple things going on here. So one thing will be the more common topics, right? I think the ALS probably will be able to directly collect them. So essentially that by either hiring people or getting some feedback from the products, right? But fundamentally, this is kind of much harder to resolve. If they go deeper. So I think there's probably again going back to the root of how to train the model, right? They probably will try to kind of come up some like a clever like structure, model structure, right, to resolve it, or just keep doing this kind of data collection or kind of talking with you guys and trying to have you guys use more AI so that observing how things works. This could be the other way. So or I mean fundamentally that everything can boil down coding, right? When the model become better at the coding, naturally the things can become generalized. So I don't think there's kind of it's here thing that people probably do not know there's a clear way forward. There's certain signals, right? But given the rapid growth of the model or capability increase of the model in the last 2 or 3 years, right? People believe that it's going to happen quickly. So it's already happening, by the way. If you use like AI, research embedded very carefully, you will see that how good an uncertain task model is, but also how bad the model uncertain task is. But the gap is closing pretty quickly.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for everybody. If there's no more question, we can end today's workshop. I wish you have a great weekend. Oh, and also remember to watch the soccer game tomorrow. Okay. So see you all in 2 weeks. Yeah.